Hello everybody, my name is Kieran from The Checkpoint, the only gaming channel that doesn't have Ebola, and today I'm going to be going through with you guys my top 5 things that went wrong in Call of Duty Ghosts, and what we can learn for future Call of Duties. So let's get right into it. So, one of the main reasons that I didn't like Call of Duty Ghosts personally, and why a lot of people didn't like the game, was because of the low health within multiplayer. Now, this video is going to be talking about the aspects of multiplayer that I didn't like, because not too many people will create a video complaining about the campaign and things like that, so it's going to be focused on the multiplayer. So in the multiplayer, there's a very, very low health. If you picture, say, Black Ops 2 having 100 health, 100% health, Ghosts would be around the 70% health, so it's a very, very low health and you die very quickly. The base health is the same throughout every Call of Duty, they're all 100%, but it's the guns that do less or more damage, and sort of do with the fire rates and the damage of the guns, etc, etc. So that's what factors in how quickly you die. And I think that combined with, it's kind of ironic, the very good hit detection that Infinity Ward have in their games, the combination of that and the low health kind of created this just instant death feeling. Like, you'd get killed by a burst weapon like the MSBS, and it was like, oh, I just got sniped. Then you watch kill cam and it's like, oh god, that was an MSBS. God. And it was like that with a lot of weapons. So even though you had the ability to kill people quickly, you also died very quickly. And if you even had some connection issues, which all of us have one time or another when playing COD, that will play a major, major part in dying quickly, because that plus bad connection equals just a very bad time you're having. So in a game that has a high health, for example Black Ops 1, a bad connection will still have a negative effect on your gameplay, but not so much, because since you have more health, you're able to kind of duck behind a corner quickly or jump out of the way, something like that. Whereas in Ghosts, you just insta-died most of the time, which is very, very unfortunate, and again, kind of ironic how Infinity Ward's good hit detection ended up with them kind of shooting themselves in the foot with the whole dying quickly thing. So yeah, that's my first reason. The second one are the map sizes. Now, I want to start by saying that some of the maps within Ghosts were good. I did enjoy some of them. Prison Break, I believe one of them is called Prison Break, or maybe I've been watching the TV show too much. I think it's Prison Break, and then there's one called Warhawk. Yeah, Warhawk, that's it. And a few of the DLC ones were actually good, because I did get the season pass, so I got a taste of all the maps. I didn't play them too much, but there's one called Collision, where it's kind of like a boat crashed into a bridge, I think it was. They were all pretty good maps. But then we have the fan favourites, Stonehaven and Siege. I'm just kidding, obviously no one likes those, because they're just way too big, especially when you factor in Xbox 360 and PS3, which didn't have ground war, so you were limited to 6v6. That plus a huge map just equals very, very slow gameplay. I can't remember a time where I have completed a team deathmatch on Stonehaven before the time limit of 10 minutes is completed. So it's always gone up to there, it's always dragged along, there's always people camping in the castle, what have you, and it always gets quite tedious, and a lot of the time I ended up just quitting halfway through. I was like, this is just so slow paced, I can't bear this. So the map sizes, I don't know why, even for ground war 9v9, they would still be too big, especially Stonehaven, because that map is approximately the size of Wales, so I just have no idea what was going on there. So the map sizes, for some of them, were pretty bad. There's also, what was that one called? Whiteout, I think it was, with the big snowy map. I think that, as the initial maps that were released in the game, kind of off-put a lot of people. And the DLC maps were a lot better. I think most, if not all of them, were a small to medium size, so that's good to see. But I think that's too little too late from Infinity Ward. And they should have released smaller maps when the game was released initially, instead of some freaking massive ones, because that's just pointless. The other reason is the unlock system. So within Ghost, you got these things called squad points when you kind of completed challenges, and you got certain kills and things like that, certain XP rewards. And with those squad points, you could buy your guns, your attachments, your perks, everything like that. And there was no actual point where you unlocked it. For example, you didn't unlock this gun at level 27, you just had it straight away and you could buy it wherever you want. And for me, I didn't like that, because there was no sense of progression within the game. You could just have what you want at the very, very start. You know, you could be no prestige, you've just bought the game, and you can have the perfect setup without having to work towards it at all. And for me, that's where I get a lot of fun out of Call of Duty, is actually kind of working towards unlocking a certain perk and unlocking a certain weapon. And to not have that in Ghost was kind of a very, very main feature of why I didn't want to play it that much, because you could just get everything you wanted straight away, and there was no kind of difficult kind of grind you had to do. Not difficult, but there was no grinding aspects, and it wasn't really satisfying when you could unlock the weapon, because you could get it straight away. So I didn't really like that aspect, especially with an update they released kind of, I think it was 2 months into the game, where they made it so easy to get squad points that you just have way too many. I believe I haven't touched Ghost in a couple of months, or about a month, and I have like 1,500 squad points left over that I just use on nothing anymore. So that's kind of stupid, and I didn't really like the unlock system within the game. The fourth reason is the weapon balance. Now, Infinity Ward don't usually have very good weapon balance. Modern Warfare 2 will tell the story enough for you, but I think the low health that was in Call of Duty Ghosts that I explained earlier, it kind of hid the bad weapon balance. If the health was higher, then you'd definitely notice that some of the weapons were not balanced at all. And one of the main examples, as you know, if you played Call of Duty Ghosts from the start, was the MSBS. Within a month, they nerfed that to shit. It was actually a 2-hit kill. The amount of OP-ness that went on with that weapon was just ridiculous. It was a 1,000 round per minute or something like that, burst weapon, so shot in bursts, and each burst within it was 1,000 round per minute. And at close quarters, it was a 2-hit kill. 2-hit kill, 1,000 rounds per minute. It was pretty awful anyway at long range, but you could just use it like a shotgun at close range, and it was absolutely ridiculous, and it felt like you were getting shotgunned or sniped by it, and it was a pretty stupid weapon. But that's not all. There's also the LMGs. I think this M27 LMG that's still overpowered as hell, and it really annoys me. That always annoyed me when I was playing multiplayer. But then one of the main other things is all the weapons that no one ever uses because they're just bad. Like I think it's the CBJ MS is one of them. The submachine gun that's awful. The shotguns, a few of the assault rifles that aren't too good. The ARX 160, I believe one of them is. It's just not that good. It's got a lot of recoil, not that good of a damage, and you just don't want to use those weapons, and they're just never used by anyone, and they're not touched. They're just left in the gun store, never wanted by anyone, which is a sad time. And the opposite to that was kind of in Black Ops 2, where most of the weapons, if not all of the weapons, were usable to an extent. So, you know, trying to get the gold camo for those weapons and trying to use them out, try them out, it wasn't too bad. You know, you could have a lot of fun with them. And they weren't too bad. They were usable, and you could get some pretty good games with them. However, with a lot of the weapons in Ghosts, it's just not possible, because everyone's using your standard Remington, MTAR, Vector, M27. That's basically all you see, and it just kind of overpowers all the other weaker guns. And especially that's to do with the low health as well, because you die so quickly. You want to use the best gun, and if you use the best gun, all the other crapper guns are not going to be used at all. So no one's going to use them, and again, you don't really have the motivation to get the gold camo for them, get the challenges for them, like we all did in Black Ops 2. At least I did. I think I had the diamond camo on all the assault rifles and shotguns and SMGs, and I barely touched the shotguns in Ghosts because they were awful, so it didn't really motivate me to use a variety of weapons. The game itself, I kind of felt forced to just use the best weapons, and once I'd used them, it would get really stale, and there was no real variety of weapons I would use because of how overpowered they were. So the final reason why I think Call of Duty Ghosts wasn't as successful as it could have been, were the field orders. Now, the field orders was something they tried. It's the newest thing we've seen. It's only been in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it's not in Advanced Warfare, so that's a good thing. The field orders, there was a little blue briefcase that was dropped at every first blood, and then the person who picked it up would try and get a challenge, like kill someone behind their back, or get 3 kills with a picked up weapon, or teabag someone when they die, or something like that. And for me, that promoted camping in a lot of situations. There was some way you had to get a kill whilst crouching, and a kill whilst laying down in prone, and that's just screaming at someone, camp. You know, you don't just go into the middle of the open and just prone. If you're going to have to get a kill whilst prone, you're obviously going to go into a corner, so that field order would promote camping. And then also the map streaks I found were horribly annoying, like especially the chem strike ones. Someone could just not have that much skill at all, and they could get 1 kill and teabag someone, and then suddenly they'd have a nuke, and it would basically end the game. Or it wouldn't actually end the game, but it would just give a huge advantage to their team. It would EMP the enemies, give a lot of kills to the team who got the chem strike, and it just wasn't too fun, and it kind of ruined the whole game. The team that you were on, you could be a much better team, but they get a chem strike, and they have a much better chance of winning the actual game. So I thought the map streaks were kind of annoying. Again, I think a lot of maps, I think every DLC map had certain map streak. They weren't always that too good, so it didn't annoy me that much, but especially the ones with kind of the chem strike. And I think there's, on the Sovereign map, where the special streak was to it just filled the room with this like yellow gas, this mustard gas, so you couldn't see for like a minute. What the hell is the point of that? It's giving no advantage to anyone. Like, come on now. But yeah, sorry, I just had to cough there again. That's becoming a recurring pattern in a lot of these commentaries, especially the longer ones. I end up talking for ages, and my face goes red, and I end up having to cough. But that's probably a good time to mark the end of the commentary before I reveal to you guys my respiratory patterns. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. They were my 5 reasons of why I think Call of Duty Ghosts wasn't successful. And we can learn a lot from this. We can sort of work out what we don't want to see in future games, such as Advanced Warfare. We also know quite a lot about what's going to be in Advanced Warfare, but I think it's kind of good to have an overview of the previous game and kind of think why you didn't like it. I might put out some things that Call of Duty Ghosts did right, because there are definitely some positive aspects of the game that I did like, but they were kind of just overpowered by a lot of the bad things about this game. And the 5 things that I've listed today aren't the only 5. There are some smaller ones, but I think these are the main 5 reasons why I didn't like the game. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like and subscribe if you have not already. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at RealCheckpoint, and I'll talk to you guys soon.